Thank you to Thrive Market for sponsoring today's video. Hello friends, this is Sarah from SheHoldsDearly.com. I'm a trained interior designer and I teach you how to make your home a sanctuary. And quick reminder, if you want to come to the Design Binder workshop, it is going to be held on January 30th. I need you to order your binder by the 27th. I'm gonna send you a custom heirloom quality design binder that I designed, and I need to get it to you in the mail by the 27th so you can be ready for the live class on the 30th, so I can walk you through the entire process of setting up a design binder. This week is an odd week. It is after the burst of Christmas and after the cleanup of Christmas, and there's this quiet little lull before spring starts happening. The sun is out today. It's so gorgeous. It's making me remember what it could be like with flowers and sunshine and sleeveless shirts. I'm from Washington State, and it is especially dark and dreary here in the winter. I recently took a course by Jean Oliver. She has a lot of courses. I highly recommend her, and I know her personally, and she's just a wonderful, fabulous woman. It was called The Art of Wintering, and it was about how a lot of us see winter as this time actually where maybe we're dealing with a lot of seasonal depression. I think it's probably more common than we would know or think, and that people just hunker down and they don't really value it. They're just looking like they're just longing for the next season. And the whole purpose of the course was just to slow down and appreciate the beauty of wintering. And there's one line in particular that stuck with me. It said, "Winter is for the makers." And if you study the rhythms of the pioneers and people that have come before us, they looked forward to winter. They look forward to getting a lot more sleep because their lights were gone by 5 p.m. and so they would sleep longer. They had already done all their harvesting, and so they didn't have all the extra work there. They could just pull from their food storage that they had, and they would take the time to sit by the fire and they would mend the harness for the horse or make new clothes or something. They really used the quiet pocket of time indoors to create beautiful things. And I really love that. And I think we need to use that as a model for us in this season. So I'm even if it's just 1 week, this is the week where I'm done with Christmas. I'm not working on spring necessarily. We're gonna do one thing, but I want to kind of collect like the loose ends going on in my house that need some attention, things that I've noticed, things that maybe I didn't know in the moment that I wanted to do, but now as months have gone on, I'm thinking, you know what, that's what it needs. It just needs that rug, or it just needs a coat of paint. And so I have a little short list, a collection of things that I'm just gonna call like my winterizing items in the house. And I thought I would take you along and we can look at it. I'm wearing my little jumpsuit that I like to wear when I'm gonna be potentially painting or getting especially dirty. It's kind of has a rosy Riveters look. I was thinking about today when I put it on, like if I just like, you know, like did some of this or some of this, what does she do? Anyway, yeah, it makes me kind of want to get some work done. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I got a new rug that I just haven't laid out in the living room, so I'll show it to you. If you've been around, you'll be like, that's the same rug, but I'll explain. I've got some paint questions to run by you, but first let's open our Happy Mail. I got some different items this month in my Thrive box I thought you'd be interested in. Okay, this year I'm trying to be a better wife and help my husband be a little more healthy. He's open to it. I think this will go all right. And he's never I don't think he's ever taken a multivitamin, not since I've known him for 27 years. I got him a men's multivitamin and it's chewable. So this is gonna be good, I hope. And then these Chomps jalapeno beef sticks, sugar-free. I thought I would just put these in his car. He has a long commute. And so he could just snack on these instead of going fast food. I also got this throat soothing tea. So I'm a big fan of Throat Coat, but it's gotten really expensive. And Thrive Market has their own generic brand that's just called Thrive Market. And of course you can only buy those products on their website, but the prices are significantly cheaper. So I am interested in trying their tea. They also have spices. And I do not buy my spices in the little glass jars. I just taught a class on kitchen organization and behind the scenes. And this was one thing that I talked about was don't buy your spices in little jars. You pay, most of the money goes towards the price of that jar. And I like to buy my own jars and make them all cute. So I always buy my spices in a different packet, a cheaper packet, usually in bulk if I can. So I was excited to try smoked paprika. I heard from a friend that smoked paprika is incredible. So I'm gonna try that. These are just items that maybe you didn't know you could get on Thrive Market. And incidentally, Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store, health food store, offering the highest quality items delivered straight to your door with savings on every order. Over the last 75 years, we here in the US have had over 10,000 chemicals added to our food supply. Now, if you look at the standards in Europe, they only allow, I think it's 300 different additives. So it's a dramatic difference in standards for what is allowed into food. Now, Thrive Market has standards much closer to European standards, and I so appreciate that. They are pushing all the time to get certified organic food in their lineup, and everything is non-GMO. On their website, you can actually filter your diet, your food needs, your allergies, and do a huge variety of combinations to find exactly what you need. We love sugar-free and gluten-free and high-protein options in this house. They have a price match guarantee, and orders over $49 ship for free. You can click on the link in my description below or go to thrivemarket.com/SheHoldsDearly to get $30 off your first order, plus a free gift valued up to $60. Join Thrive Market today and get your health food delivered conveniently to your door with extra savings. I got this rug. I think I got it before Christmas, so it's been sitting in my room for a while, and I just haven't set it up. So I have ruggables throughout my house. I don't think they look like super high end, I will say that, but here's the deal. The amount of peace that comes into my life by knowing that I can just wash the rug is so worth it to me that I'm doing ruggable rugs. And that's not the only thing I use. I also have seagrass in my living room here. But I had this one, it's called the Rejute. It is this beautiful Victorian floral blue color on this sort of jute texture. It's not real jute, but it kind of has that look. And I had it in my living room. I had it laid over my seagrass area rug. Both are totally washable. It's been really great with the puppy. But what I was finding is that the rug that I had in my fireside room right next to me here was getting so dirty, and I would vacuum it every day. But you know, it's just like this low level, dirty dust level layer just builds up over time. And I was washing it once a month, and I would wash it for, 4 times in my washing machine, then let it air dry. So meanwhile, the room is all torn up, furniture's moved. Anyway, doing that once a month was just breaking me. So that rug is now, that barely belongs like in my room where it just doesn't get very dirty. So that one's been promoted to the adult spaces. And this floral one, the Rejute one, I moved into the fireside room because here's the deal. It is the perfect match to our dirt. Do you know what I mean? Like if you live in Utah and you have red dirt everywhere, you've got to think about that. You don't want white tile floors. You want terracotta tile floors. So along that vein, that's why I moved it into the fireside room. It looks fantastic. I love it. It's a 10 out of 10, but now I miss it in my living room. So I bought a second one. Exact same one. I'm gonna set it up. I have the thinner pad. I feel like it works better for this particular rug. Usually I would recommend getting the thickest pad you can for a rug, but this one I feel like is doing better with a thinner one. It's not lifting up on the edges. Hey, stop! So you lay down this Velcro pad, you roll up the rug part, which is kind of like a thicker, kind of like a blanket. And then you start at one corner and we're gonna roll it out. If I can roll it out. Let's get you a snack or something. Okay, Nala has some frozen blueberries. So let's see if I can get this rug down. So I line it up, I let it hang over just a little bit. The next thing that I want to work on is I want to order some seeds. So this year we have high aspirations to redo our greenhouse, to do a true French potager. Did I just say that right? Potager, oh gosh. Now I can't remember. I feel like every video there is one word that I say wrong and then I get corrected in the comments and then I learn. Not that it's like not bad, it's like you're helping me. I want a better vocabulary. So a French garden, we're working on a French garden, and just to be economical and good steward, I am challenging myself to start these flowers from seed. I've been studying lists of flowers and herbs, and I mean, I even want to grow heirloom pumpkins. So there's gonna be, well, more videos than just this one, of course, but I want to get that started because seeds will sell out really quickly. I like Eden Brothers, Johnny's Seeds, and this one, Territorial Seed Company. I'm gonna list in the description below the ones that I'm getting just because I know these sell out. So if you're interested, I'm really into white flowers. I'm into sort of an English garden look, but very much French, more French. Okay, so I'm gonna put the list, I'm just gonna put it in the description below because I love ya and I think that you might be interested. And I'm gonna get some of those ordered up. So the next thing that I like to work on during the winter time is fixing the broken things. So think about things in your home that have been bugging you maybe for years. I'm gonna share one with you in a moment. That fall down when you go by them and they just create just a little bit of irritation in your life and you just haven't focused on them. It wouldn't even be that hard to fix. You haven't focused on them yet. So I'm gonna deal with two of those things right now. One of them is this painting. It's 2 frames. This is plastic, all thrifted. I love this painting. I found it at Goodwill for just a couple dollars. And it's a little farm scene. And it's fun because I was watching one of Kristen Hoffman's videos this week and she has the same painting. So, I mean, it's just cheap, you know, not an original, but it had a brown frame. I painted it gold years ago when I bought this. And then I did like the size of it, but I wanted it to be more ornate. So I just, literally, there are nails on the top of this frame. I hung this plastic frame over the top of it to give it kind of a layered look. And I mean, it looks fine when you're not looking at it, but I randomly will bump it when I'm adding wood to the fire or something, and then this one falls off and it's this big deal, and heaven forbid someone in my family does it because they don't know how to put it back together. It's that kind of a thing. So I'm gonna fix this thing. I'm gonna try. Here we go. I liked that, see how we have like a two-tone going on here? I do like that. I feel like that brings a lot of dimension, and what I would do is add in this gold here. And I thought I hit the record button and I hit the stop button. I was peeling it off, which is always my favorite part to film. Anyway, this is where we're at. Just a tiny little bit of variation. I don't think the average viewer would even know I did something, but it's going to repeat the color of that frame in the back. Now, I have to glue the two together. And you can see I've got a lot of texture on the back here. So I looked at Crazy Glue, Gorilla Glue E6000, and what I'm settling on is using construction adhesive. This is kind of like, well, it's kind of like caulk. That's how, I mean, clearly that's what it looks like. It's like fantastic glue. I used this a lot when I did a VBS at our church. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it on the other one first and then set this on top of it. It's not an exact fit, but I'm at least gonna make it even on the sides and from top and bottom. So don't tell anyone how fake this thing is. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. The very last thing that I want to finish up in this room this week is the wallpaper. You can see that I did this. It's a cream with this beautiful like gray sort of diamond pattern on it. I'll link it for you. People love it. I love it too. But I never finished. You can see like right above that picture rail, I didn't know if I should paint it this Revere Pewter by Benjamin Moore, this gray color, if I should match the cream in the wallpaper and paint that up there. I couldn't decide for the longest time. And now I feel like I know what I want. I feel like it does need more wallpaper. I have almost an entire new roll left over, and so I'm going to just cut the little strips. It won't take me too long, but I'm gonna finish that up. I feel like that will make the wallpaper look really finished, and it will also like help set off the trim. I think it's the right move. So that's another thing we're working on. We're just finishing up old DIYs that never quite got finished. It's a good winter project. So a lot of what we talked about today, I feel like applies to life. I find actually a lot of times with home life, it applies to the broader picture of life. And John 12:24 says, if a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it produces many seeds. And I'm especially interested in the part where it says a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, because that is describing winter. So maybe not everything in your life feels like winter right now. I hope that's not true, but I bet there's pockets of things that feel like they've fallen to the ground and they're dying, and you don't know if it will ever produce any fruit. You don't know if there are answers or how it could ever get better. I have things like that I'm dealing with right now, and so there's a way to wait. There's a way to wait with anxiety and bitterness and fear. And there's a way to wait where you're trying to give it to God, and you have to do it over and over again. It is not easy. It's not natural. It's something that you grow in, and that's how faith is. It grows. But there's things to do while you're waiting that are better than others. So for instance, forgiving the dirt, which is what we talked about in the beginning of this video, working on forgiving things, working on forgiving people, working on preparing for spring. Like, what can you do to prepare for when things are going to get better? How can you be ready for that? And what kind of training do you need, or things to put in place so you're ready for when this harvest comes in? And then what can you be working on that maybe has been on the back burner, and now you have the time because you're just waiting for God to move. And so now you have the time to actually work on things that you know He wants you to get done, or things that you want to get done. And so that's just a reminder for everyone out there, including myself. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.